Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Eastern Alliance Era 1 Tech Tree medium tank, the Skoda T50. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Skoda T50, what's it like? Well, it's a pretty fun medium tank in Era 1, just the same as it is a really fun medium tank at Tier 9 in World War II. It's basically exactly the same. You can have a lot of fun with it using this 3-shot auto loader, and you get about the battlefield really quickly and just dish out damage so fast. It is really satisfying to use. But this is another free-to-play video, so we've got 3 replays in it, all of them on the free-to-play account. All of the grind for the Skoda T50 was done on stream. And this first replay is mostly stock. We've basically got the top engine. We've managed to get the turret and stuff like that. Well, I say mostly stock. We've got the stock gun, right? We've got the second gun along, which is the 100mm R11. And it is a bit of a derpy gun. It's a bit of a pain, but you're going to experience what it's like for us with the free-to-play account with this setup that we've got for the Skoda T50. And that is because with the Skoda T50, I only have 3 crew skills while I was grinding through it. And that was Sixth Sense, Steady Aim, and Born Leader. We took those 3 first because naturally you always want to know when you're spotted first and foremost so that you know when, okay, I need to move. And also when you get those pesky tanks that you can't see yourself, right, and you go, oh, I'm spotted, and then you can go, oh, I'm spotted, what spotted me, look round, and thus you'll see something looking at you somewhere. By the way, these shots are wowzers. It's just this gun is, on this free-to-play account, it's a horrid experience sometimes with these guns. But anyway, so yeah, and then Steady Aim to make the gun 10% more accurate, because as you're seeing, the gun is just, like, the guns generally can be pretty horrible, and on this tank, without any help from the crews and equipment and stuff like that, yeah, it can be pretty nasty. So you want to make it as good as possible with the Steady Aim, and the Born Leader is just making everything about the tank better, which is why I took those 3 first. And then we've got no equipment. There is no equipment on this tank because we're going to get past it pretty quickly, especially with the new XP requirements at this point for the grind. So I decided, no, I didn't want to invest any equipment on it because it would have cost me a lot of silver, and it just wasn't worth it because I was going to get past it very fast. So you're experiencing what this tank is like to play with only a 3-skill crew and no equipment. And yeah, that means pretty derpy sometimes. But you can still have a lot of fun with it. You can still have a good time. This stock gun, however, was not the greatest. Well, the proper stock gun was not the greatest of times. And this stock gun is, again, a bit of a pain because it's very derpy. It's got 230 penetration on its standard AP, 269 on the premium APCR, which is good enough for everything you're going to face in this era, but it just loves to miss, and it's super frustrating to play. But yeah, you can still have a decent game with it. It's just this tank really shines when you do get that top gun. When you get the auto loader, that's where you're going to have a good time. So, what would I run in terms of recruiting equipment if I could fully kit it out? Well, I'd run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Deadeye, Clutch Braking, Track Mechanic, and then in terms of equipment, Vents, Stabs, and Traction. So, I run the Track Mechanic because this thing likes to get its tracks blown off, so I like to be able to get them back on a bit quicker if I can and not be stuck out in the open for too long that way. Clutch Braking to make it turn quicker so I feel very nippy on my tracks. Deadeye to increase my chance of dealing module damage for every shot going in, especially useful for the auto loader. The 3 gun perks because as you're seeing, and it's the same with the top gun, the guns can be derpy, so I want to make sure that it is going to be as good as humanly possible, and the other perks are generally what I'm going to take on most tanks in general. And then Vents to make everything about the tank generally better, although you can definitely change that out for something like the powertrain or the camo net. Camo net just to knock the camo down because it is a big target. It has basically no camo, and you can knock it down to 355 meters of still concealment if you want to with the camo net, but I wouldn't possibly recommend that. I'd probably say if you're going to do it, run the powertrain to give you extra oomph in the engine and get even faster. Either that, or run the GLD to make the aim time a little bit better, because the aim time, especially with how big the bloom is on this tank, can be a little bit sad sometimes. So, and you'll experience that when you watch the replays. So, yeah, you might want to run the GLD. It's down to you and how you want to feel comfortable in playing the tank. But yeah, I run the Vents to make everything better about the tank in general. That's what I'd drop if you were going to change it out for anything else. The gun stabilizer, again, to make the gun bloom not as bad on this vehicle, because the gun bloom is rather large from moving and turning the tank. And then the traction system to go at 66 kilometers an hour, and you will hit that 66 kilometers an hour for this vehicle, which is quite nice. So as you can see, this first game, we've managed 3.5k damage with 485 assistance, and we've managed to win the fight for the middle of Desful, because the middle area on Desful is quite important, because you can get shots across the entire map in lots of different locations, and you've seen us trying to farm up some damage on people. We managed to get a good fight in with the 4005, get rid of it, and we're starting to reap the benefits of winning this position, and that is attacking this convoy. You saw what this gun is like at shooting at distance when we were firing at the T34 and the 4005 a bit earlier on. It does love a good miss, this gun, and it is super duper frustrating. Obviously, if you put on full equipment and have the full crew, this gun is going to be a hell of a lot better. But you're seeing just the experience of this gun. I say it's bad as it hits that kind of shot, right? Obviously. But yeah, you're going to see the experience of what it's like to have this tank with its stock gun, not really a good crew, and not good equipment. And yeah, it's a bit painful sometimes. You go, oh, that's going to hit right. And no, it's not. That was a bad shot, really. So I can't doubt the tank on that one, but yeah, it can be a little painful. So we're just looking for the shots into the T34. We fully aimed the shot into his side there because he was full side on. And sadly, we hit the dirt. He fired at us, though. Just looking for that shot again. Bit more of a chancy shot, but it just goes wide of him yet again. It's going to be a bit of an awkward pen there on that T54 because he's giving us very, very little, but we do get the shot into the side of his turret, which is quite nice. Hopefully we can get the kill, though, and just as we fire, he ends up getting shut down. And we finished that game with a pretty nice total there for a stock gun game. We finished with the victory, 2 kills, 4.8k damage, 485 assistance, the first class with 1438 base XP. A pretty nice game there for the Skoda T50 on the free-to-play account. And like I say, this tank is not the nicest to play when you're stock. It really isn't, and it is a bit of a, I say a bit of a grind to get through it. In reality, you don't grind this tank for very long. With the new XP requirements that are in Era 1 and in Cold War in general, you just fly through this tank, which is a little bit of a shame because this tank is great fun to play, especially when you get it fully upgraded, and it's like you are past the tank in a blink of an eye. No word of a lie. But it is a hell of a lot of fun to play when you do get it fully upgraded, and that is what you're about to experience. We've got 2 games in this tank now with the top gun. We're fully upgraded. Everything's going well about this vehicle, and we've got the fantastic auto-loading gun that this tank does have. That first gun, by the way, had 1,050 meters a second shell velocity on it, which is where some of the shots at range can feel a little bit derpy. When you switch to this 100mm 8K1 and you start to get this auto-loading gun, you now get APCR as standard, which has 248 penetration, which is lovely, and 310 penetration on the heat rounds, which again is going to deal with everything you're going to face in Era 1. But 248, realistically, you're going to pen everything anyway, so you don't really need the heat rounds that much. And with having standard APCR rounds, you actually have 1,400 meters a second shell velocity on the standard round, which is utterly beautiful. The shells do fly to target pretty nicely, and if you're fully aimed, the gun is pretty good. But it's still Era 1, and it still does love to derp the floor randomly, even when fully aimed. It's one of those things with Era 1 guns. I don't know what it is about the guns in Era 1, but sometimes you're like, oh, you know, I've got 0.27 accuracy. You're fully aimed, and it finds a way to hit the floor, and it does it quite often. And sometimes with the Era 1 guns, it is very much like that, which can be a bit frustrating. And especially with no crew, well, not a very good crew and no equipment, it's even worse. So with this tank now, we're just trying to find shots to dump out with this autoloader. We fired one at that T54. Sadly, it went high. We weren't very well aimed, and we were struggling with the ridgeline and gun depression. But he pokes out. We go for the shot again. Really unlucky. We had his whole drive wheel inside there, and it just went far to the right and ricocheted off his upper plate, but we did get the third shell in without taking a hit. And that's where the gun again can be really little bit frustrating, where it's just like, I had the chance there to pen at least 2 of those shots. The first one was terrible, but the next 2 looked like they should have hit, and we actually penned 1 of the 2, and it's, yeah, a bit sad. With this gun and the setup that I've actually got with this free-to-play account, we have a 2.03 second reload. Not second reload, 2.03 second aim time, sorry. I'll get that right in the end. 2.03 second aim time, which is quite nice, which means that the gun does aim in pretty quickly. But with how big the bloom is, especially not running something like the gun stabilizer, it can still feel like quite a long time, which is why I say even with the gun stabilizer and reducing the bloom, you might still want to run a GLD just to reduce the amount of time it is going to take to get this gun aimed in. But we do have 2.03 second aim time, which is decent. 0.28 accuracy as well is okay. We've got 25.78 second reload, which is pretty quick for this gun. We get the three shells of 320 alpha in pretty quickly, and once we get the chance to start farming up the damage into the enemy tanks, it is a pretty great time. But obviously, if you're going to be running this tank as you probably should be in full equipment and crew skills, you're probably going to knock the reload down to closer to 20 seconds, and it will feel a hell of a lot nicer to play. But that's one of those things, because this Skoda T50, right, even though we've not got the full equipment setup, we've not got a very good crew, it still felt great to play. It still felt very nice to grind through, and was perfectly enjoyable, right? There are some tanks that without a crew and without the equipment, they just feel disgusting to play. TVP VTU, TVP 88, sorry. I am looking at you, buddy. The tank before this was shocking. But this tank's pretty good. No, it's pretty enjoyable. So it's 6-6 currently on the score, so it's very, very even. What we're going to do is see if we can find anyone else to shoot. We get spotted there, and I'm like, oh no, I don't really like being spotted there because the FV 4005 could possibly be out there still. I don't want to take any hits from that 4005 because, well, with 959 hit points, that's going to be curtains, and we do not want curtains. We don't want them to be drawn on this game for us because that's it's not going to be a good time. So we're just watching. We're just watching towards our spawn because I was thinking we're basically in their base and there's only 2 tanks spotted, right? So what if I was the enemy team? I would have been getting towards our cap. But as we poke over, we end up finding the M48A5. He puts a shot into us on the move. We get 2 shots into him. Rather than risk it and get another shot into him, we're on the move. And luckily we did that because the 4005 poked up in front of us, and he would have ended our day again. We don't want that. So we've got to fully get out of dodge. We see the 4005 is crossing the bridge. He's seen us. Hopefully he misses us. This is the prey moment. Thankfully he does, and we get away. We had to get out of dodge because that 4005 could have been coming for us. If we were reloading, that M48A5 was definitely going to kill us. So you just had to kite them and run away. So that's what we've done. We're on 554 hit points, which is awkward, and we're now waiting for the 4005 to make a move, same as the M48A5, to see if we can catch them out. So we get spotted, and it's a T44A, so we get one in towards the T44A, and sadly, and it does it again. 2 of the shots derp there, so we had the whole upper plate to pen of the T44A, and the shot went extremely wide and tracked him only. The second shot had the whole upper plate and hit the floor. That's this gun in a nutshell with this build that we've got. It feels exceptionally derpy sometimes, and it is so frustrating. But we did get the third shot snapped in to that FV 4005, but we also did take a hit from, I think, either the T44A or the M48, which is a bit awkward. But we've come up to do what autoloaders should be doing, and that is we've got the surprise drop on the T44A, put 3 shots into his tracks, which means he can't move. Now we're on the reload. He is definitely going to be coming after us, so again, we're getting out of dodge because we're on 1 shot. We don't want to be sitting there waiting for someone to just YOLO, because realistically in Era 1, if someone's going to YOLO, they will. If they look like they might YOLO, they're definitely going to do it. So you just don't chance it. If you're a 1-shot, don't chance it. Just get out of dodge. Make sure you're not going to take the hit. But he's gone, ooh, shiny, towards that light tank. So he's run off to go chase him. So we've come to help this TD. We get 1 shot towards the M48A5, and sadly it just hit the floor. Or, sorry, it hit the turret next to him. The second shot went in, and the third shot just went... Well, it just fired a little bit too late, and we ended up missing the M48A5. We're coming to the rescue of this FV107, who, well, frankly, didn't need rescuing because he shuts down the T44A. But now we're nearly reloading. This is why the Skoda T50 is great fun, because it is just... It's always in the fight, which is nice. We're looking over the wall to see where the enemy tanks are. And surprise! It's like, oh, that's the 4005. Hello, bro. We're trying to get the tracking shot, but sadly we didn't get it. But we did set him on fire, and we finished off that 4005. Out of nowhere, I did not expect that guy to appear like he did from that way. If he'd actually come around the corner to my right, he would have killed us. But we saw him, and that's because we were trying to see where the M48A5 was over the wall. And we didn't have to deal with that guy. He knew where we were. He was so focused on us. The FE-107 managed to get the drop on him and shut him down. And we finished with the victory. 2 kills, 6.1k damage, 539 assistance. With the Ace Tanker medal for this tank, which was definitely nice to get. And 1807 base XP. A really great game there for the Skoda T50 on Rosanai, where we just managed to keep flanking, keep spanking, keep the shells flying, and get a really nice total for this tank. And again, it showed off this tank in perfectly. Can't take a hit because it has absolutely no armor. You're as big as a house, so you're very easy to hit, which is definitely a problem for you. But if you can just keep flanking, use the great mobility of this tank, you can push out damage so quickly because you've got a 1.8 second intra-clip reload on this clip, which is delightful. And then you can use the 8 degrees of gun depression this vehicle has as well on ridge lines to good effect to limit the amount of tank that people can actually see and just keep the damage flowing. And that's what the Skoda T50 wants to do. So we're on the third and final game. And this third game is on this map, which is Berlin. And we're just trying to see what we can get out early doors. So we get one shot to the T54 and get 2 shots there into that 4005, which is glorious. Great scenes getting some damage into that guy because there's 2 4005s around that corner. Those 4005s are not going to be a good time for us if they decide to shoot us. So if every little helps in getting rid of those little buggers in Era 1, right? And it's always a great time to get rid of the big 183mm of pain because, trust me, 183mm of pain hurts, and you do not want to take that. So, now we're loaded. We're being careful because, again, I don't want to get 4005, but we do manage to get one shot into the AMX-38. Like I said, I didn't really want to poke this corner a little bit because I thought the 4005s might be after us, but they're distracted. So we're going to get ourselves into position to use the autoloader against this 165. Sadly, the shot goes absolutely nowhere near that 165. It was a very chancy shot, and we don't get the chance to get any more damage into that guy. So we go for the full reload, because we may as well. There's no point holding on to one shell. If you end up with one shell in the clip and you don't have an opportunity to fire it straight away, you may as well go for the full reload, especially if you know you're going to get a chance to reload. And then you'll be ready to go with 3 shots for the next target that flies into your reticle. So we're just waiting for shots towards the T54 here. We get 1 shot to the side of his turret, get 2 shots towards him, but sadly it misses. And the 3rd shot, which was aimed for the T54, ends up hitting the heavy tank. I don't even know what the heavy tank was, but we hit it anyway because RNG and lol. So we'll take the free damage. We're up to 1918 damage. And we are, again, waiting for the clip to come in. We're in the perfect place at this current moment in time because I like the fact that I'm in the position to shoot across at people like this T54, who is distracted. So we go for the shot towards the T54. Bad timing. Shouldn't have taken the shot, really. We saw the 5120... Sorry, not the 5120. The Lorraine come in. We fired the 3rd shell at the T54. Sod's Law. Sod's Law, am I right? 2 out of 3 shells. Hit a teammate. First one, our bad, because, well, we saw that guy coming. We should have just known that we were going to hit our own ally. Second one ended up missing, which is sad. The 3rd one hit our teammate again, which is just, again, very, very bad time. There's nothing anyone could have done about that one. But now we're loaded, and it's ready to dump into this 4005. Again, every shot into the 4005s is beautiful. I put 2 shots in, and I think, you know what? I'm not going to pressure that 4005 because, again, he could just turn around and delete me. So what we're going to do is reload a full clip, and then we're ready to go for him yet again when it is loaded. He's charging around the corner, and I'm thinking, is that guy going to come after me? But he's actually going down the 5 line, so that guy's not actually coming after us. And we're in the perfect ambush position to get after this Shah 40T. It's like, hello, Mr. Shah. We get a lucky shot that actually tracks the Shah 40T, and we shut down that Western Alliance Era 1 Tech Tree medium tank right there, which is great because the Shah 40T is an unbelievably fantastic Era 1 medium tank, so it's always great to get rid of that autoloader out of the game. But now we are looking at our next victim, the MX-30A. We've just got to be like, these guys don't know we're here, or should I say they should know we're here, but they're not paying attention to us. So we're just doing the typical autoloader thing of going, hey, hello, friend, I'm here. I'm here to do some damage. We get 1 shot through the MX-30A because he is stock. 2nd shot goes, well, it misses. And the 3rd shot puts him down to a 1 shot. And typically, that shot that we could have had there to kill that MX-30A just hit the floor somewhere. But now, look where my TDs are. I was expecting that 4005 to come charging after us to kill us. So I've bugged out. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. I don't want to take the hits from the 4005. I don't want to get one shot. I don't want to get killed at this point. So we made a beeline to run away. But now we're loaded. We're going to go see if we can get the drop on this 4005, because we really want to get rid of that guy from the game. He's spotted still at C4, so the hope is that possibly we can get in and get him. The MX-30A shuts down our 4005. Our team is dropping like flies, so we need to even the scores out a little bit. And there we go. We get rid of that big 183mm gun, which is the last one in the game gone, which is great stuff. But now I've got rid of him, I'm making the move out because I thought, well, still, while I'm reloading, things know where I was. There's no point. In this sort of situation, you do not want to sit still. Sitting still could be your death. If you just take a position like that 4005 did and go, hey, this is me, yeah, it's not going to go too well for you because the tanks will know exactly where you are. They'll pinpoint you and they'll come after you and shut you down, which is not good. We managed to get the drop on the T54, shut him down, and I knew I needed the full clip to get the bat chat that was spotted, or the SHA-25T, sorry, that was spotted at D7 that was with that T54. I know I need the full clip to get rid of it. So we've gone for the full reload, and we're going to get over towards the TVP-88 to help him out. Hopefully he can shut down this MX-38, or that MX-38 will get shut down, because then we can just focus on getting rid of the SHA-25T. The TVP-88 does get a shot into the 30A, which is great. That's one tank down. Now we've got the full clip. We can get after this SHA-25T, and with RNG, we can kill this guy in one clip, but RNG could still say no. So I'm gambling here. This guy clearly looks like he's reloading, so I want to make sure I'm going to get these shots in. I'm chasing him down, and I want to make sure that I get as close as possible so we don't have any bad moments with RNG. So we get one shot in, two shots in. He's a one shot. Let's go. Oh, that's awkward. We missed the point-blank auto-aim there. We should have just aimed it properly. And now we're in an awkward situation where he could end up Amaracking us, setting us on fire, taking most of our hit points with this clip. So instead of face-hugging him, we are making it as difficult as possible for this SHA-25T to get his shots in. And there we go. He's fired all of his clip. We're ready. This time, making sure. Good night, Mr. SHA-25T. Get out the game. We absolutely made 100% sure there that we were going to kill that guy and finish with the victory. 4 kills, 5.5k damage, with, yet again, the Ace Tanker medal for the Skoda T50. 1708 base XP, a really great game again for that tank. A bit awkward in the end there. We made that more awkward than it should have been because we should have just aimed it properly. But I thought, you know, we're point blank with auto-aim, and the shell somehow landed behind him because reasons, right? But hey-ho, we still had a great game. Skoda T50, it's a fantastic tank to play, and even free to play with no equipment and a poor crew, we still had a good time with it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Great success!